Edmonton City Council walked back a strict new smoking bylaw Wednesday before smokers even had a chance to butt out. After tightening restrictions Tuesday on public smoking regarding cannabis and cigarettes, as well as vaping, Mayor Rodney Hopkins put forward a motion the next day to rescind the new restrictions on tobacco smoking, for now. City Council decided Wednesday to hold off on new restrictions for smoking cigarettes in public. Luke Henry, Belleville and Telexer City Administration will launch a public consultation before sending the topic back to Council for debate on Sept. 12. It didn't quite sit right with me overnight, said Mayor Rodney Hopkins, who introduced the motion to roll back the restrictions. Heard concerns from business owners as well as smokers since Tuesday's meeting, and said pushing the decision back will allow time for sober second thought. Article continued below. Council's Community Services Committee voted in June to allow pot smoking in most public places, which garnered attention as one of Canada's most relaxed bylaws. But on Tuesday, Councillor Michael Walters made a motion to add more restrictions to that bylaw and apply the same rules to smoking and vaping. Council voted 7-6 in favor of Walters' proposal, which would have banned smoking and vaping in any park that has playground equipment, and within 10 meters of doors, windows and patios. When you have a street with a fine grain of businesses along it, there are doors every 10 meters. It means there are literally certain sections of the street where there would be no place for people to smoke. Hopkins said Wednesday, people have gotten pretty good about going out to the curb and getting away from the door, and they understand the rules today. If you essentially push them into the street or push them into the back lane, that may not be safe or practical in certain parts of the city. Councillor John Giotic, one of the 6 who voted against the restrictions, said he was comfortable with Wednesday's decision to roll them back, but said he hopes the city does not focus its public engagement solely on businesses. So far we've had zero public engagement, Giotic said. We need to talk to all Edmontonians, smokers and non-smokers, users of the spaces that will be affected. Article continued below. Read more. Restrictions on pot and cigarette smoking in Edmonton to become tighter. Alberta producer to make oil for new marijuana beer. What does it take to sell weed legally in Alberta? The restrictions would have banned smoking on sidewalks on commercial streets like White Avenue and Alberta Avenue, and in about 2/3 of the city's parks. Giotic said the added restrictions would disproportionately affect certain demographics that are more prone to smoking. He said it would also leave parents who might be addicted to cigarettes but still want to bring their kids to the playground with the choice of either staying home, leaving their kids unsupervised, or risking a $250 ticket. It's almost elitist to enforce rules upon other people that know the health risks of smoking and still choose to smoke for whatever reason. It's doing a real disservice. Giotic said, to me, it's saying that a big segment of our population is no longer welcome to freely express themselves or have the experiences that they want in public places, which I think is going to result in a complete disaster for festival attendances and also park use and just feeling welcome in society. Last week, Council's Community Services Committee asked administration to also look into banning shisha, leaving more than 40 hookah lounge operators uncertain of their future. Giotic said tobacco, vaping and shisha should have been left out of the weed debate. We've completely complicated the conversation, which has been a disservice to Edmontonians, he said. But anti-smoking advocate Les Hagan, executive director of Action on Smoking and Health, wants to see the restrictions go forward. He said it makes sense to align smoking and vaping with cannabis laws because it's healthier for kids to be away from anything smoking related. If we're modeling that behavior in most public places, then it's not unlikely that we might see more kids taking up smoking, Hagan said. To a 5-year-old, it's all smoking. With files from Claire Theobald, Kevin Mayman is an Edmonton-based reporter covering education and marijuana legalization. Follow him on Twitter, @TheMayman.